In this sample exam question, we have a scenario that begins with, while reviewing server audit logs, you notice numerous failed login attempts for hundreds of user accounts. Some accounts have multiple failed login attempts separated by more than 10 minutes. The question is, what type of attack most likely took place here? Let's take a look at the answer. The correct answer is a password spraying attack. A password spraying attack is a technique used by malicious users to try to break into user accounts. But what happens is that instead of using a standard dictionary type of attack where you have word files or phrases that you are passing to user accounts and you would just keep pummeling the first user account with all these possible passwords, instead of doing that, which can trigger account lockout settings, instead what happens is we would try, for example, a password against the first user account. It may not work, but we're moving on to the next user account and trying the same password. Third user account, same password. Fourth user account, same password. We try all that and then we cycle back to the first user account again. So the idea here is we're trying, from the malicious actor's perspective, to circumvent triggering account lockout settings. Now, you can't really prevent password spraying attacks, at least not itself. But what you can do is you can have some security controls in place to detect that it's happening. And you can also make sure that passwords can't be cracked easily in the first place by using strong passwords, maybe enabling multi-factor authentication. Now, we know it's not a distributed denial of service attack based on what we saw in the log as part of the scenario, because a DDoS attack really means that we've got a flood of useless network traffic preventing legitimate connections. So there's no indication that that was the situation. And privilege escalation is usually the result of compromising a host or a device, whereby after the device is compromised, higher privileges are granted, maybe by cracking an admin account or a root account on a device.